I didn't practice this myself. I know better, but my mindset was too small. I was thinking too small. I was thinking there's no way that I'm going to be able to hit these numbers. So I made them smaller instead of saying, oh, I absolutely will hit these numbers and make those numbers bigger and strive to hit them and get around people who've done it already so I can learn from them. Instead of doing that, I made myself smaller. Hey there, CEOs. Welcome to the Wedding Pro CEO podcast. I'm your host, Brandee, and my mission is to help you, the wedding industry entrepreneur, to build a profitable wedding business that you've always dreamed of. On today's show, I want to talk about why your business isn't growing. I don't think there's anything more frustrating to a business owner than feeling like you are just grinding it out constantly, every single weekend, every single day. Those long nights, the sleepless nights, and the endless to-do list, all to feel like your business isn't getting anywhere. And so I wanted to share a quick story with you. So a few weeks ago, I was scrolling on TikTok, as I sometimes do, and I saw this TikTok that completely hit me in my gut. And I knew that I had to share it with you because this is my community. Like, you are my people. I love jumping behind this mic and hopefully inspiring you or giving you a tip, a tool, or a resource that you can take into your business to grow your business. So in this TikTok, it was a woman and she was talking about how she had purchased a snake and she had this snake and it was amazing. She loved it so much. And after about 5 years, she noticed that when it went to shed its skin, it only shed its skin and didn't shed its eyeballs, which I loathe snakes. So even just kind of listening to this TikTok, I'm kind of surprised I stopped on it, to be honest, because I was like, why is she talking about a snake? And I didn't want to know that a snake sheds its eyeballs, but anyway, that was not the point of the TikTok. She was talking about how her snake shed its skin but did not shed its eyeballs, so she knew that something was wrong. She took her snake to the vet, and the vet was asking lots of questions and said, "How old is your snake? Like 2 to 3 years old?" And she said, "Oh gosh, no, he's 5 years old." And she was like, the vet said, "There's absolutely no way this snake is 5 years old. It's too tiny." And she was like, "No, I've had it for 5 years. So I know that it's at least 5 years old." And so the vet asked her, "What size tank do you have it in?" And she was all proud. And she was like, "I have it in a 20-gallon tank. Like, it's got plenty of space to roam around." And he said, "Well, this snake should be in a 50-gallon tank. And snakes only grow to the size of their environment. So the reason your snake hasn't grown to its full potential size is because its tank is too small." And the point that she was making, and the point that I loved and knew that I had to share with you guys, is that so often our businesses aren't growing because our tank is too small. What we think our business can do is too small. Our mindset is too small. And I have fallen victim to this more times than I can count, which is probably why I was so inspired by it and wanted to come share it here with you on the podcast. When you think about this same analogy as a business owner, so often we think, "Oh my gosh, there's no way that I could charge that much," or "there's no way that I could make that much," or "there's no way that I could pay myself that much." Instead, if we were to surround ourselves with people who were already doing it, so that instead of us saying there's no way we could do it, we could see that it's not only possible, but there's other people who are actually doing what we want to do. For us as humans, as business owners, to grow the size of our tank often means to have to grow the size of our community. Not how many people are in our community, but the quality of the community that we're in. I'll take myself as an example. Last year, when I was setting my budget, I was actually messaging back and forth with another coach friend of mine who's also in the wedding industry. And we were chatting back and forth about what we were setting our revenue goals as. And to be honest, I set my revenue goal quite low for this year in my coaching business, because in the last 2 years that I've been a coach, my business is brand new and I've only been a coach for a little over 2 years. And so I had been surrounding myself with people who really weren't in the coaching space. I didn't have a ton of coaching friends yet. And so I often was making my tank too small. You guys, just last year in December of 2022, when I set my budget for 2023 in my coaching business, I only had it growing by 10%. Now, 10%, yes, can be a lot. Once you're an established business, like a 10% growth year over year, I'll take it all day long as an established business. But as a business that is growing and is in those first couple years of business, I would love to see you doubling your income every single year, especially in the first 5 years of business. And I didn't practice this myself. I know better, but my mindset was too small. I was thinking too small. I was thinking there's no way that I'm going to be able to hit these numbers. So I made them smaller instead of saying, oh, I absolutely will hit these numbers and make those numbers bigger and strive to hit them and get around people who've done it already so I can learn from them. Instead of doing that, I made myself smaller. I made my tank smaller. What ended up happening was in February of this year, of 2023, I realized what I was doing. I was like, I am playing so small. I'm not surrounding myself with the businesses that I want to be. Why am I doing that? I should be surrounding myself with business owners who've already hit $1 million in their business so that when I start having those mindset doubts that I can't do it, I can see that it's possible and I can have people that are pulling me along. Right? People that are surrounding me saying, you can totally do it. And here's why. And here's some tips that I can give you. Right. And so in February of 2023, I joined a mastermind group of $1 million coaches. Now, my goal is not necessarily to hit $1 million in my coaching business. So don't think I'm over here taking a bath in $100 bills, but I do have a very, very aggressive goal now in my coaching business. Why? Because I've been able to see how much of an impact my courses make on wedding pros that are growing and scaling their business. I've been able to watch now over 50 people inside my accelerator completely change not only their business, but also their life. I've been able to see one-on-one coaching students completely have a revised mindset about what they can do, how much they can make. I've seen one-on-one coaching students that have literally doubled what they're charging in their business and they're starting to sell it. I know the impact that my courses and my education have on the wedding industry, and I am here for it. I am here to impact as many wedding pros as I possibly can to show you that you can have a business that does not suck all of your hours of every single day and every single weekend, and you can make a profit doing it. You can make an incredible salary, an incredible lifestyle doing what you love. So many of us got into the wedding industry because we love serving people on their most important day. And then we forget that we also have to serve ourselves. We also have to be able to make a living doing that. We also have to be able to enjoy this one life that we are given. And I know that my courses and my education and my programs and my mastermind group, I know that they are changing lives. I know they are. And so I knew that I had to start surrounding myself with people who could show me how to help more people. So in February of this year, I joined a group of $1 million coaches. When I tell you my business is so different, so different. January was my least performing month of the year. It was the least performing month of the year for my business. And when I tell you that I don't even recognize some of the numbers and the registrations that are coming from my accelerator course, from my social 365, from being inside my mastermind or one-on-one coaching, it's not to be braggadocious. It's not to say, oh my gosh, look at all this money I'm making. Not at all, because we're still trying to figure out all of that. There's so many costs and so many expenses, right, that go along with how much you make. We all know that. But what I am saying is that I now see, because I surrounded myself with people who impact so many people in their coaching businesses, I was able to see that it's possible, and I grew my tank. I grew my tank And by doing that, by growing that mindset, by putting myself into a larger tank and seeing what else was possible, I started growing myself. Just like that snake. If that snake was in a larger tank, it would grow to that potential. And so what I want to encourage you today, Wedding Pro, is to get yourself in a bigger tank. If you are in a place in business where everyone in your circle is in the same place that you are in, you've got to think bigger. You've got to get yourself inside a bigger tank. I want you to be surrounding yourself with people who have already hit $500,000 in their business, who have already stepped into the role of CEO, who have already built incredible teams and are leading those teams and coaching their teams. If you feel like you're not there yet, that's the whole point. The whole point is to put yourself in a bigger tank so that you can grow. If you keep yourself in that small tank and you keep surrounding yourself with people who have done a little less than you or the same as you aren't going to grow because your mindset will keep you stuck there. So I just want to encourage you. Come join my group inside the accelerator. Come join us for next year's Wedding Pro CEO Summit. Join me for one-on-one coaching. I want you to get inside one of my programs. I want to help you reach your fullest potential. I want to help you get inside a bigger tank, and I am here for it. I am here for the movement that we are creating in the wedding industry to say no more overwhelm. We are not going to do it anymore. We are going to build sustainable, profitable wedding businesses that we love and that absolutely align with the joy and excitement we want from our lives as well, because we only get one life, you guys. And I know that I am incredibly blessed to do what I've wanted to do since I was a little girl. I've never wanted to do anything else in my whole life except plan parties and help people to know how important they are through parties and soirees. And I get to do that through my team now. I've built an incredible business that allows me to now bring up the next generation of wedding planners through Blush. And now I've built this incredible coaching business where I get to pour into so many business owners. And I'm telling you, I am here for the movement. I am here for it. And I would love to bring you along. If you are interested in joining my bigger tank, I absolutely want you to be there. Come DM me over on Instagram and let's talk about what would be a great program for you to join. We have the accelerator. We have one-on-one coaching. We have smaller programs that can help you just get there, but I want you to be part of it. So you guys, hopefully this episode was inspiring to you as you're listening to it. If you're listening here in the week that this episode was published, we're actually at the second annual Wedding Pro CEO Summit, and we open doors on June 13th for the following year for Summit 2024. And I'd love for you to be there too. So come DM me over on Instagram. I'm at Brandee Gar, and let's talk about how we can get you into a bigger tank. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here every single week, and I will see you next time.